All right. Welcome back to Jacob V Weekly.
Why are you saying it like that?
We're getting a little clip distort in my microphone. Oh, baby. Oingo boingo, sister. Back in the saddle. We want to start like we do every episode by reminding you to donate to reach out to Caddyshack of New Hamel, Illinois. Tiny cat rescue, near and dear to our hearts. Save a life or 9.
I like the belch at the end.
Signature move.
Yeah.
It's a signature of the Caddyshack spot. Emma is back.
Hello.
Emma's in my house already this time of day when I get here a lot of the time.
That's not on Sundays.
Not always on Sundays, but just, in general, it's just, I don't know. I felt like we had a really smooth, successful episode last time, and I have so many notes. We have 2 weeks worth of notes here because of the amount of things that are going on, and we skipped a week. And Emma's also prepared some things. Things are busy. I host a free weekly trivia game at Bluewood Brewing every Thursday. I've been turning those people onto the podcast. It's a great interactive way to meet up with some fans of the show. I'm in a band called No Antics. We have an LP coming out this summer. We have a new music video dropping this week for a very fun song of ours that's already out. The song has been out. I believe this video coming out is Listen. The video for Let Me Out came out last month. Those are great. Blinded by Stereo has an LP on vinyl, sister. We're working on our first video for one of those songs right now, but the vinyl is available. I think you could order it. The cheapest way to order it is on Bandcamp, I believe. That's the most direct. I played last night with the Flyover State at the Sky Music Lounge. May or may not ever do that again. Neither here nor there. I have a song that you should attach to any of your posts on Instagram called Easy Livin', EZLVN by Jacob V. Patreon.com/Jacob V is the only way to support this show financially. We only reserve ad space for the Caddyshack currently. Have not heard back from Lion's Choice or Cybergs or...
you need a Cybergs hookup? I know Brett Cyberg.
I was in first grade with Taylor Cyberg. They should be calling me. We both had Kathy Newcomer.
Brett's mom's hair.
I think I would love to plug the sauce. I think on the show we can always have a thing of the sauce right here. They got the real big one. They even have a new flavor. They have the... Oh. This is in my show prep. We're going to talk about them.
Okay.
First thing I put in here that I wanted to make sure we talked about right now today on record, because this week is going to be crazy. Of course, the banks may all collapse tomorrow.
Well,
but Donald Trump thinks he's going to jail on Tuesday.
A lot of people think he is, and apparently his tweets, or not tweets, but whatever he put out on whatever.
I screenshot it. It looks like a fucking tweet.
Scary.
Is it his thing though? Because it's got a red check mark instead of a blue check mark.
I think it's Truth Social.
It's his patriot.gov situation. Yeah. It's his...
The terrorist organization.
Yeah, it's the white supremacy Twitter.
Yes. I mean, that's kind of Twitter now anyway, but...
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, and apparently that tweet or Truth Social would make it very hard for him to get bail or bond out. No.
Yeah. This seems so dumb. It's in all caps. It was 2 pages.
Well, I mean, he's on a lot of drugs. So what do you expect?
This looks like an Adderall tweet.
I love hearing old producers from what is it? The Apprentice, was that his show?
Mm-hmm.
I love hearing them talk about how they had to legitimately pull him off set to change his diaper because he shat himself.
Listen, I'd shit myself too if I was him.
Oh my God.
But apparently this whole thing is confusing to me. So the thing Tuesday is about he expects to be arrested in Manhattan because of phone calls about using campaign funds to send Stormy Daniels hush money. But then he's also got the phone calls in Georgia about similar campaign fraudulent things. But I thought originally this was all going to be about January 6th. So he's got a lot on his plate. What are you looking at?
I'm looking it up to see what exactly it is.
Can we talk about how good my silk bonnet has been for my hair?
Oh, I'm so glad.
It's just, I wake up and I don't look like I've been abused.
Well, yeah. I mean, but you're not using.
I mean, it doesn't look great right now, but I woke up just like this.
Okay, so he's being indicted in Manhattan by a grand jury. Let's see
Which is
why.
another thing. That's not like just some rogue operative from the State Department is fucking with them. It's like that's people that your attorneys agreed to admit to a grand jury to decide if there were charges to bring off of whatever evidence. Obviously, normal people that made it onto the grand jury, however normal they could possibly be, thought there was stuff to go on.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that he could be arrested. Okay, so they don't know. We don't know yet. They've not been told what the charges would be.
That's what everyone I hear is
expecting
waiting
it
for.
to stem from the 2016 hush money payment to Stormy Daniels.
And then he says in his post on whatever network this was, the far and away leading Republican candidate and former president of the United States of America will be arrested on Tuesday of next week. Protest, take our nation back. That's not subtle. I don't want whoever listens to him to do that.
I mean, that kind of ties into what I have to talk about with, astrologically planetary alignment things and stuff. But, yeah, I mean, he's a piece of shit and he should be in jail. And hopefully he does see jail and not like a Martha Stewart upper.
Well, and I'm okay with him going to jail, but are all his friends going to be cool or are they going to get nuts and take up arms in buildings?
I mean, they've already tried to blow up power stations and shit. Like it's been happening. That's the thing. It's not like, I mean, yeah, I'm sure we'll see some other dumb shit like January 6th. We'll see another form of inbred idiots running around LARPing fucking military, Yeah. With hero complexes.
Well, I can't wait.
It's going to be great.
Let's jump right into that.
What?
Astrologically, this is where astrology really helps me out. Is to know what kind of energy to anticipate in the coming days and weeks, right? Just know how to prepare myself emotionally and how to guard myself against being overly reactionary.
Did you notice that I've been sending you more Capricorn related what to expect stuff on TikTok lately?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It's only because it comes across my page because it's Gemini too. But I am heavy Capricorn in my charts. Yeah, well, there are major protests happening against the police in I believe Paris, but France right now, which is interesting.
Paris and France?
Paris, France. And your underpants. I don't care what's new in notes. It's because it's not on my tablet. We got dual technology right now.
Yeah, we got so many machines running. I got my phone. I got 2 computers, one of each.
What are we gonna do? What do we do? Okay. So we are coming up on what is technically the new year. In astrologically speaking, Aries is the beginning of the new year when it comes to planetary alignments and things like that. The veil is very thin right now. Don't know if you've noticed. Everybody's a little on edge.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I had a spiritual attack in my dream the other night that was horrifying.
Jesus.
Sweet little Archer woke me up with kisses. Saved me right in time. And a couple other people did too. It's wild. But so essentially, yes, we're going into the new year, astrologically speaking. So a lot of purging out what doesn't suit you. Sorry, my throat's dry. Right now, it's a good time to commit to personal goals that express the positive energies of the sign of the Ram.
Oh my God, that's me.
Mm-hmm. Well, get your life together.
Am I doing that?
People do at the end of December going into January 1st is what we can do now, like in a spiritual sense, cleanse your space, release everything that doesn't serve you because the universe will sure do it for you if you don't.
Yeah.
and just kind of prepare for the year to come because it's going to be a fucking roller coaster, baby. We also have Pluto entering Aquarius.
You know astrologically that the next year is going to be a roller coaster?
Yeah.
I thought we just had a couple of roller coaster years.
Oh, well, you know. I think I said last time that this year when Astro Lori was doing her yearly predictions that it was going to be broken down in a couple parts. January through March was going to be, it was going to feel like one part, and then March through, I believe, August or September is going to be part 2, and then the finality of the year is it's going to feel very chaotic for a while. Yeah, we have Pluto entering Aquarius. I just see, and I had us pulled up in the right spot, and then I moved it, and now I'm upset about it.
Well, I forgive you.
It won't be consistently in Aquarius until late 2024, so it's going to go back and forth between Aquarius and where's the other planet? I just had it here. It says, while Pluto flirts with Aquarius. That's cute.
Oh,
it's cute.
Oh,
but with Pluto and Aquarius, we're going to take social structures and politics especially seriously, and we seek major reform in these areas. Unusual, intense, or dramatic happenings are possible with friends and networks. During this long-term cycle, we are likely to confront issues of control and power related to individuality, equality, friendships, and group associations. We can be on a quest to distinguish ourselves from our possessiveness, scientific minds, ideals, humanitarianism, or unique qualities. It's also a time when we seek to change and overhaul society through science, inventions, and the mind idea. So let's just fuck it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's
let's
exactly
just disrupt the system.
Yeah.
Total anarchy. Out with the patriarchy.
Yes.
In with the matriarchy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Sister.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
That's kind of where we're at right now.
Pussy breathing. That's Cardi B said that once, and I wear that close to my heart.
Oh, do you?
So, yeah, because the banks could be all fucked up tomorrow. And then Tuesday, Trump wants to get arrested. And then Poland is sending fighter jets to the Ukraine. So Wednesday could be World War III.
Well, I don't know about that. Putin's got arrest warrants out from the UN now.
And then, was it the UN? An international crime watchdog issued an arrest warrant for Putin for
you can't go to like
crimes.
180 something countries.
Does he travel a lot anyway?
Good question.
I know he refuses to speak English on camera.
Well, does he speak English?
Oh, absolutely.
Are you sure?
Oh, fluently, like a fox. Are you kidding? But it's not good for his image.
Well,
so.
of course not.
But
does he wear Levi's?
I doubt it.
I bet he has a secret stash somewhere. Look, I'm not going to talk shit about Putin. I don't need the Russians coming after me. I'm all right.
Right, because that's
I got enough, you know.
Not only does Putin speak English, but he listens to this show.
Well, you don't know. Somebody from the KGB could.
That would be a waste of their time.
Well, they're always listening.
It would be a real boost for us.
You're gonna see a spike in Russian viewership.
Listen,
after this episode.
Maybe we could get like subsidized by like a Russian fertilizer importer.
What?
That's their main export is potassium-based fertilizers.
Why do you know that?
I've been studying scenarios for the collapse of the global trade system
in case Russia takes over the United States.
For example, there are places that grow their own food using entirely imported fertilizers because their land organically is not viable for farming. Like Brazil, they grow a lot of food in Brazil now, but on its own, you can't really grow food in Brazil. So they import literal tons of potassium-based fertilizers from places like Siberia, where they dig up potash, they call it, which is a byproduct of something that's rich in potassium.
You got a whole ashtray of that over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So why did I bring? Oh, because that would be a good sponsorship for the show. Be like this episode of Jacob V Weekly is brought to you by Putin's signature potash.
Straight from the motherland.
It's the good stuff. Short Round won an Oscar.
You know, I had those on You would know if you would come over when I
the Oscars
the other night. Yeah, we weren't really paying attention when when it was on. It was just kind of background noise.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I don't watch movies. I'm not a movie person. I'm a TV
I haven't
show
seen
gal.
any of those movies.
Especially reality TV.
Yeah.
Fuck Tom Sandoval.
Yeah.
I'll say it any chance I get.
Yeah. It's Shout It from the Mountain
Trash.
Top.
We don't claim him from St. Louis anymore.
Not up in here.
Nope.
Lindsay Lohan's having a baby.
What? No way.
Yeah.
Biologically?
Oh, yeah.
Or with like
She's Lindsay Lohan is pregnant right now.
No, she's not.
Brother.
Send me the link. Send it.
Why do I have to send you a link?
Because Jake, because of Golden Corral. That's why.
Oh, fuck.
That's why. And I hate how you tell that story because you make yourself sound so good in it. When in reality, you're a dirty fucking liar. For years, I believe that story.
Lindsay Lohan is already showing and so happy amid pregnancy news.
Why did Woody just say Indiana Jones? No.
Yeah, well, that's who Short Round was in.
Oh. Well, I'm just going to Google it now.
Yeah, Lindsay Lohan's pregnant as fuck, dude. It's all over Yahoo.
Oh, it's on TMZ. All right.
Told you.
Well, look. At this point, I have to see it to believe it. How did you not send this to the group chat? That's important.
I think I put it on my Instagram story.
Jake, I don't... Do you think I'm really paying attention when I'm on Instagram stories?
I don't know how people interact with Instagram stories, or I'd be better at it.
So she's...
Whose baby is it?
She's married.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because she lives in like Saudi Arabia or some shit.
What?
Yeah, she does not live in the U.S. anymore.
That's probably good. It's expensive to live over there.
Bader Shamans.
Oh. She's going to have to quit smoking them cigarettes.
Doubtful.
She's from Long Island. She likes to smoke a cigarette.
She has that fake British accent too, doesn't? You know what? We're not going to hate on Lindsay. Good for Lindsay. Lindsay got her life together.
Yeah.
Even if it's in some weird, obscure way, we're proud of her. Props to Lindsay Lohan.
You know what, though? I was listening to a podcast. Josh from Drake and Josh has a podcast that Hillary Duff was on. Mm-hmm. And apparently he can't drink alcohol anymore because it makes him want to take Percocet.
Same. You know?
Well, listen, if I had like 18 Miller Lights right now, woo, eep, boo, boo, Percadoodle. So I worry about those people. You know, Corey Feldman is nuts.
Yeah.
And
here's the thing, though, and here's what bums me out, right? Because it's like there are no normal people in Hollywood. Because, like, if you're
I thought you were just gonna say anywhere, because that's where it's going.
Well, but like, I was thinking about this on the way over here, and because talking about that conspiracy pyramid that I sent you, and just how ingrained white supremacy is in our society and things, and it's like. Yeah, like some of those crazies are actually telling the truth, but it's so flooded in and you got to dig through all the muck of the rest of the crazy shit that like nobody hears what they're saying, right? And then it just kind of makes the whole concept sound nuts. And like, just where are the normal people just being like, yeah, no, I mean, that's a thing. You know what I mean?
I think they're minding their own business mostly.
Probably. Yeah. Not wanting to be famous.
Yeah, and not really even knowing that things are happening involving famous people, and you know, I don't know. There's lots of those people. I don't want to say they're the majority,
right?
But they definitely mind their own business. They stay in their lane.
I don't talk about Vladimir Putin on podcasts.
I'm not saying we're normal. I don't think we're included in these people.
That's not true. I'm pretty normal. I'm down to earth. You know, I feel like people are surprised at the amount of depth that I bring to the table.
Depth.
But not many people get to see that. You know what I mean? I play the bimbo role very well.
Yeah, that's the part I was going to say.
Oh, yeah. People think I'm dumb as shit, and I love it. I love it. Underestimate me for the rest of my life, please. It's going to be a real bad time for you.
Yeah. I've always said that about you.
No, you haven't.
No,
you just stacked up with Diet Cokes over there?
Yeah, I keep them deep. I keep them deep. So I've been substitute teaching at a high school downtown. And
downtown?
Like right by the new soccer stadium. And which is lovely, by the way.
Cute.
And the McDonald's downtown has told me this on a couple of occasions. And so it's a ongoing, habitual thing at the McDonald's on, I believe it's Tucker. No diet products.
They just don't have them?
They're not out of Diet Coke. They don't offer Diet Coke at that McDonald's.
Huh. Did you ask why?
I'm afraid to. Because it's been twice now, several times apart, several weeks apart or whatever, that I've had that experience. So the first time I thought they were just out, and then now it just seems like they don't keep them. But I don't know why. I've never experienced that at any other McDonald's ever anywhere in the country.
Yeah, no.
For 32 years.
I went to is that cute? Is that a Qdoba or Chipotle? Probably Qdoba by the salon, and they have cream soda Coca-Cola now in the big old multi-flavor Coke machines.
Yeah.
Who didn't? I'm pissed that somebody didn't tell me, because now I need to try it. But I didn't know if I was gonna like it, so I couldn't commit and had to stick with vanilla Coke, which is the top tier flavor of soda ever. But like now I want to try the cream soda, because I enjoy the Dr. Pepper cream soda, and I'm not really a Dr. Pepper gal. You have Diet Dr. Pepper normally, don't you? Diet Coke or Diet Dr. Pepper?
Diet Coke, yeah. I do enjoy a Diet Dr. Pepper, especially if they're out of it. But downtown, that's not the option. Downtown is no diet products.
Good for them. Just straight sugar, no aspartame.
Yeah, I don't get it. Oh, but I went to the Cybergs downtown for lunch the other day. Cybergs is kind of the premier St. Louis dining experience.
Really?
So this refers to a family of restaurants. We have Cybergs on Dorset, Cybergs on Market, Cybergs on Gravois.
They also own Helen Fitzgerald and Twisted Tree in Kirkwood.
Yeah.
Sunset Hills.
And the, right? Correct. And I'm not saying it's like the nicest restaurants in town, but it's kind of like the most successful in the kind of cuisine that I think historically people have eaten here for a long time.
It's a local chain.
But it's like, it's always really quick, and it's always staffed. I don't understand how they just keep people working there. It must be a volume thing.
Yeah. Well, I've Brett Cyberg, the owner of Cyberg's. I used to cut his mother's hair. She's a wonderful woman. She's on the back of the menu with her late husband.
Right.
She's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Brett is incredibly kind. I'm sure people have bad experiences with him, but they are a very successful family in the restaurateur industry. Fun fact, if you're an Evan Peters fan, he likes to spend New Year's Eve at Helen Fitzgerald's.
Who is that?
Evan Peters. He was in Dahmer. He's in American Horror Story.
Oh, really?
The Office. He's from Wildwood. Yeah.
I did not know he was from Wildwood.
Well, Halsey broke up with him because he's a Blue Lives Matter supporter. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He grew up in Wildwood.
Well, that part makes sense now that I know that.
So, just fun fact. Some things that I've learned.
Me and Keenan were joking that if they try to arrest Trump, the people that the police are going to kill that try to break him out are also going to have Blue Lives Matter stickers 100%. On their trucks.
Yeah. 100%.
Which I don't want to happen. I don't want that to happen. But if you want to see people,
there was if
you want to see the police,
they were like beating cops with a blue line,
right,
a thin blue
with a flag that said
right.
blue. Yeah, it's going to be a lot like, it's going to be like an episode of The Blacklist.
Don't you dare ever say that. Don't you ever dare put any of those dumb fucks near anything that has to do with James Spader.
Can we talk about how good that show is? Even
love The Blacklist.
I love James Spader. Exactly.
James Spader can get it to this day.
James Spader can get it right now.
James Spader
he could walk in here and crop dust us with the worst old man fart.
Dude, people think like I don't get it. Dudes get so fucking butthurt about that. Like I don't understand why. It's like, sorry. I mean, like,
well, when he was a young actor, he was in a lot of really sexy, kind of risque, kind of dramatic stuff.
Like the bad boy, but like, it's not even that. It's just
he's so eloquent.
that. And I don't know.
And when he's playing a career criminal, he becomes a lot more your type for sure.
1,000%.
If you put like if you tattooed a crown of thorns across his forehead.
No, I don't even want him to have tattoos. I don't want any tattoos on him. I love him the way he is. There was a scene in like season 1 or 2, very early on, where he's like going to save Elizabeth because some people had kidnapped her in a warehouse, and he's like walking through and takes his suit jacket off, and he's got his fucking gun holster in his vest, and he just fucking it's like the hottest scene on TV ever.
The brown leather gun holster is kind of like lingerie on him.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
I love it. And
I'm caught up on season 10 is airing right now.
I'm not caught up. I haven't done anything live. I'm caught up on what's on Netflix. I like to binge it, but I just actually restarted watching it not that long ago. Did I ever tell you about the dude who the guy whose feelings I hurt that back like years ago, early 20s, I hooked up with this dude and it ended badly. He was a douchebag. He sucked. He's the worst. And he had seen me on Tinder, I guess. And, because men are fucking idiots, we didn't match because obviously I want nothing to do with you. Like, no. So he messaged me on Facebook saying like, what do you know about Blacklist? Elizabeth is like my love and Raymond Reddington's my idol. And I'm like, first of all, you could literally never be Raymond Redding. No matter how hard you tried, you suck. You're from I could say something, but it's going to sound very elitist and very Kirkwood, and I'm not going to do that. But, and then I like just responded with like, oh, what do you know about like sleeping with a girl and like screwing her over or whatever? And the paragraph.
He sent you a paragraph?
Yeah.
What did it say?
Oh, I'm pulling it up. I have a 2-minute voicemail of a dude crying because I blocked him. Woo! Okay. Yeah, I was like, what do you know about convincing a chick you're into her, banging her, and then treating her like absolute garbage, then coming back every few years acting like nothing happened and no apologies needed? Because this is not the first time he's reached out to me, because they all come back. Because any dude I ever mess with always comes back. We all know this. But he like did the like pouty face emoji with like the big doe eyes. Is that it? Funny that I've only had sex with 4 women in my life. You are one of them. Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Supposed to do for me,
right? Well, I don't care. Like that, I don't care. Also, Raymond Reddington would never. You're one of them. I can't read this with a straight face. I'm terribly sorry about the way things ended up. It's been a tough pill to swallow. Never once have I thought that like nothing happened or that the way things ended was okay. No excuses. That's where it should end, right?
Yeah, but of course not.
No, of course not. My mom ended up dying like 2 months after you and I stopped talking. We didn't stop talking. He like ghosted me and flat out would like ignore me when I would come into the store he worked in, to where his coworkers were like, what the fuck happened with you guys? And I was like, I don't know. So his mom died. So that should make everything better.
It's your fault that he didn't have sex with more people.
Right. I just, whatever. Something about like not wanting the drama because I was like freshly out of a relationship or something. And that's so bogus. I figured you didn't want anything to do with me anyways, but hey, at least I know how you feel about me. I won't contact you anymore. I hope you accept my apology. I'm sorry, Emma. I'll never forget you. You're a special woman and deserve someone who will treat you the way you deserve.
I didn't ask for any of this.
You'll always have a place in my heart for what it's worth. The blacklist won't be the same now. You'll be in the back of my head when I watch. And then he blocked me. He's since unblocked me. For the drama of things. Man, I hope if he's listening, he messages me.
Why would he
I want to
listen to
hurt
this?
his feelings. I don't know.
Why would he listen to this?
Why would he reach out to me regularly every couple of years?
See, the way the male anatomy works is sometimes...
It's been almost 10 years.
Sometimes your vesicles are full.
Don't talk to me about... Not me. Not the most masculine female in our entire friend group. What are you clicking around on?
I had to take a break from the camera, and so I brought myself back.
Well, anytime I watch Blacklist now, I just giggle and think about that dude No excuses.
That's what he wants. It's like Joe Dirt. When you're looking up at the moon, you think maybe he's looking up at the same moon, but it's The Blacklist. It's NBC's last ever hit show, The Blacklist.
Well, here's the thing, too. It's like somebody recently, I think my ex was talking shit about Blacklist because he hated it. I'm like, you only hate it because you know I'm wildly attracted to James Spader.
And he doesn't understand half the words. How
about
that?
That's not fair. Okay, I'll allow it only because you're my friend and you're standing up for me. He was not uneducated. He was very intelligent. He's just a fucking broken human being. But anyway, I looked at him and I was like, bro, the fucking extras on this show make more money than we do per fucking year. I was like, the main actors make more money than you and I will ever make in our lives. Like, you can hate all you want, but they're making bank for this show. Because they have to be. It's NBC. Do you know how much? Google how much they make.
I can't produce the show and Google things.
Oh, produce the show.
Produce the show, Emma. I gotta make sure this button works.
So anyway, that's my dude. Get James Spader and Sergei Siljak.
Which one is Sergei Siljak?
Sergei from Emos.
Oh yeah.
Dudes get so butthurt over it. I'm like, you do realize that like I'm pretty sure he's like married and living in Chicago or something. I don't know. We're friends on Facebook. We don't talk. But like to this day, dude still gets so butthurt if I bring him up. I'm like, nothing ever happened. I think they're just mad because I love Sergei. If he walked up, I'm like, what the fuck? Let's get married. I'd be like, yep, let's go. Vegas right now. Courthouse.
I'm ordained. You wouldn't even have to fly to Vegas.
Oh my God. That would be.
If you get the license, we could do it anywhere.
I'll have Emos cater it. What am I looking at? Oh yeah, Blacklist.
We'll do it on the patio at Emos. It's lovely there. They have that tree.
The tree's still there.
I bet the tree is
Brendan's
still
gonna
there.
be pissed when he listens to this episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Did you know my mom has a new neighbor? Can I play you just the sound of a video of him talking?
Oh no, which side?
The house next to her with the other pool. We finally met this guy.
Oh my God! So like in our basement, I play a lot.
Listen,
I play a lot. Are you kidding me?
What do you like to play?
Everything, like Tom Petty, like.
Oh my God!
Fucked up.
In front of your wife.
She pissed her pants. Okay. My wife doesn't judge. My wife doesn't judge. She has.
Let me give you some context. This video was taken at 1:10 in the morning. The reason we did do a podcast last weekend is because I went to Raleigh to celebrate my aunt's 90th birthday. And I'm the DD because I'm California sober. And I have redemption from the risen Jesus. And we come back and everyone's drinking but me. And we're up and talking and hanging out. And then somebody knocks at the door at 1 in the morning. And at first we're like, maybe it's our aunt that lives down the street, even though it's kind of late for her. It turns out it's not. It's a very drunk little guy named Dan, who couldn't be much older than me, if at all.
Okay.
And he said, you know, my wife's out of town and I was up drinking and I heard you guys were up drinking. So I thought I want to come see what my neighbors are doing. And so they welcome him in. And Donnie is, of course, very upset at this point.
As he should be.
Right. But the rest of us are like, what? And so we start to put together that he sells like technology systems to corporations. So he works for Worldwide Technologies, who actually their name is on the new soccer stadium. They're like a big company or whatever. And but it sounds like he likes to have a few brewskis and have a little nose candy with the other neighbors.
I was wondering what that was because I was like, you guys don't hang out with your neighbors here.
No.
And I know there's a house for sale nearby, so I was like, well, maybe
no. My mom has a new neighbor.
Yeah.
And so we figured out that this guy, I guess, had a little too few mini nose beers and nobody else was up partying. So he said, oh my God, there's still a party happening. Yikes. And we were all going to leave and Mom and Donnie were going to go to bed. And so we were like, Dan, we got to go. And he's like, can we keep it going for like a little bit longer though?
Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. That is unsafe.
And he kept hitting my vape.
Ugh. COVID's still a thing, Jake.
That's what I told him, but
Not in Afton.
right.
James Spader makes $300,000 per episode, so basically 6.6 million per season.
Yeah, he's an
Makes
executive
him
producer now.
the highest paid actor on NBC these days. Daddy, I need a sugar daddy.
Isn't this the last season though?
I don't think so.
I thought it, or maybe 11's going to be the last one.
I don't know. Well, it can't go on for much longer. I mean, Jesus.
No, it's
Are
going
we going
on.
to find out how he's related to Elizabeth?
I was really hoping that we were going to find out that Raymond Reddington was actually her mom.
That's what I was thinking for the longest time.
Because they definitely let us believe that for a couple years.
Well, then there was that one character that like completely transformed people into other people. So they really leaned into that, but then that wasn't a thing. But then we met her mom, didn't we?
Well, yeah, later they decided she was still alive. They left it open-ended for a long time, and then later decided she was still alive, and that actually he was her buddy or whatever. And
well, there's a theory that his character on The Office was one of Raymond Reddington's aliases.
yeah, and that I like a lot. And that was old James Spader hair. He had this weird like
long hair.
Yeah, long hair for a long time, and he was in this movie called Crash, not the woke one with Brendan Fraser and Matt Dillon, but the and the guy from Hustle and Flow, but the but earlier, like late 80s, and it was like about people that were sexually aroused by car accidents.
What?
Yeah, and he was in a really popular one with the pretty lady from Groundhog's Day called Sex, Lies, and Videotapes. And that was like the same like sexy thriller kind of vibe back then. And so when the Blacklist started, my grandmother said, "Oh, he used to always be in dirty movies."
That's right, The Secretary.
What?
The Secretary?
There's a movie called Secretary?
It's like people were saying that 50 Shades of Grey was a ripoff of that.
That's brilliant. I got to watch that.
It's got Maggie Gyllenhaal. She pisses herself.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
From Batman?
Yes. It took me a minute to remember if she was in the movie or not.
But she's the one that replaced Tom Cruise's baby mama.
What? Yes.
Katie Holmes was in
Yes. I know what you're talking about. You're
Batman
talking about Dark Knight
Begins,
Rising.
and then Maggie Gyllenhaal was that same lady in the next two.
Yeah.
Batman needs to settle down.
Well, it's a different Batman now.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about it that way.
What's your next topic you have written down?
Yeah.
I
So,
can talk about James Spader on
y'all are playing too much Fortnite. Two separate criminals initiated standoffs with police in St. Louis last Monday.
What?
I heard a story on the radio, and I thought it was old because it was saying a suspect was actively barricaded in a residence in Baldwin, and I thought they had already got that guy because I heard this morning that they tear gassed a guy who was barricaded in a house after shooting a woman, but this guy was a different guy. Two separate criminals ending.
Wouldn't it be GTA? Sorry, wrong video game. You don't take hostages in Fortnite.
No, but these guys are barricading themselves in homes. So the first suspect shot a woman at a gas station and then fled to a nearby house that I don't even think was
Baldwin?
his. No, the first one was in the city.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
And then barricaded himself in the house, and they were able to apprehend him because they tear gassed him, but I don't even think it was his house. And then that was like early in the morning. And then later that day, actively, a guy was barricaded in a house in Baldwin after fleeing police, and they ended up apprehending that guy.
Pretty sure somebody was fleeing the police in my neighborhood.
But in the same, last night I was driving home, and there was a helicopter with a searchlight on.
Oh my God. That happened when I first moved into my apartment. When I first moved into the city, I was outside and I was like smoking. I was all like ratty because I was just like moving, unpacking and stuff. And I heard a helicopter, and Samson hates helicopters. So I was like, all right, get in the house. And I'm just sitting out there with little puppy Archer. And all of a sudden this helicopter shines its searchlight right on me. And I was like, it was just like, it felt like a scene out of Cops, it was rough. And I was like, oh, maybe I should go back inside. Why are you pointing?
Yeah, he exchanged fire with the police in Baldwin.
What?
Monday afternoon. This was on the 13th. So we haven't done a show since then. But But the crimes were so similar that I heard about them both on the radio that day, just driving to and from work. And it was the same exact outcome. I don't know how this one ended. This I can look up. This I will look up, Emma.
Thank God.
Baldwin police.
I mean, we don't have to look it up, though.
No,
well, unless you want viewers to
I want to
know.
know if they killed him.
Mm.
Oh, it was a woman. The second one was a woman.
I'm going to not comment.
She shot herself.
In the head?
A self-inflicted gunshot wound. A woman accused of firing multiple shots at police officers in Baldwin died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound inside her home after being barricaded for multiple hours Monday afternoon.
No comment.
In the middle of the day.
Does it say why?
No, that's
She shot herself in the head? What her crimes were that they were chasing after her and barricading in her home for?
The cops have been there repeatedly in the months leading up to this. She had flashed a gun before, but never faced any charges.
Oh, so it sounds like she was having serious mental health crises.
Yeah, and then the issue is
cops
just a
did
lot of mental
nothing to
health
make
not
that
being
better.
solved. The abundance of guns, the kind of loss.
I think you know where I'm going with this subject. I think we cannot, because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
But then what about the other guy? What was it? St. Louis? I know that was tear gas.
I have nothing to add to this. That's going to be positive.
Sorry, I had to find this. And then the other one,
you know my stance.
It looks like if this is the one I'm thinking of, yeah, this was in Herman. A standoff ended after.
Was that what the alert was that we all got?
Police shoot tear gas into home. Arrest suspect in Herman standoff after killing of police officer. So this guy killed a police officer.
That had to have been the alert that we like.
Yeah,
there was
I remember getting
the
this.
phone, but it was just like Herman, Missouri, man on the loose, and that was it. And I was like, what? We all thought it was
so.
fake.
A police officer is dead. A mentally ill woman is dead, and a man got tear gassed and arrested. All on Monday, and this is in the suburbs.
What did the guy look like that got tear gassed and didn't get
I didn't
killed
see him
for killing a cop?
I'm sure he was of the persuasion.
Did he look like us?
I'm sure he had the complexion for the protection.
Wow. Probably had a thin blue line.
Mm-hmm. He probably had a Punisher tattoo with a thin blue line on his chest.
Yep.
But if that same guy tries to break Donald Trump out of jail next week, he might get shot, and that's going to upset the narrative. It's like those cops that beat that guy to death. It all turned out to be black. That was weird. That upsets the narrative.
There was a white guy involved.
Yeah, the supervisor was white, which is also insensitive.
Did you notice how quickly all of those cops
it turned right on him. Here, take these guys.
Turned their back completely. Not only that, but their unit was the similar one the police chief had down in Atlanta, and that was shut down for the same problematic shit. But it's all a part of the fucking system. But that's fine. We're not going to go into it because I don't want to upset your mother on my views on our...
My mother?
You know, she listens.
She does. I think she agrees with you. She doesn't want the police to be killing people's children.
Well, mine's a little bit more radical than that, but police shouldn't really be...
Oh, I got Witty on the text line.
Not surprising.
Not surprising. You can always text the show at 314-626-4208. That is the dedicated phone line for the show. I have an app. So,
he said that your mom's neighbor was absolutely ripping albino giraffe necks.
Dude, there's no way. He had that good fish scale, I think. He's got that tech money. He's living in South County. He made friends with some neighbors down the cul-de-sac. They got a little cocaine, and they got a little podcast they do over there. I think we should do a hybrid episode.
Absolutely not.
He plays guitar. Luckily, he didn't bring
anybody that has cocaine right now, Jake.
You what?
So I don't need to be around anybody that has cocaine right now.
I've never done cocaine, and I won't start now.
Don't do it.
I quit drinking so I wouldn't get divorced. So the way to continue being married is not to start doing cocaine.
Yeah.
I know that much.
Good for you.
You know what I mean?
Hey, you've done a lot of growth recently. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah. No, there was a time a few years ago where I was driving around playing Pokemon Go, and I was like, you know what? I could try crack. But I didn't.
You know what that blows? Like, people don't realize, like, cocaine is crack. You're snorting crack rocks. Mm-hmm. And my favorite are the people who are like, oh, no, I don't take ibuprofen or any of that. Like,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah,
they're vegan.
Pharma,
they're vegan, and they won't take ibuprofen, but they smoke Winston cigarettes.
Oh, so you'll do crack, but you won't.
And they'll smoke a little bit of crack. They'll have a Marlboro Light and some crack. But they're a shaman and they do yoga.
Right, because that's not appropriation. And
mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, they'll wear a headdress to Coachella.
I hate people so much.
I was almost late to my free weekly trivia game at the Blue Wood Brewing where you can win free beers every round. A couple weeks ago, just after we did this last pod, because a guy shut down the highway. 44 got shut down at Jameson because a guy fled an ambulance and was evading the police on the highway in the rafters of the bridge.
Smart.
He jumped out of an ambulance on the highway. Police were trying to get him off the highway. He climbed up into the rafters of the bridge, shut the highway down for hours.
Really?
Oh, yeah. 2 weeks ago.
Hours?
Hours all night. It was shut down from it took
so many times since then, and this story has never come up.
It's been in the show prep. Do you not have this document?
No, because you didn't send it to me. Because
I need
anytime
to do
I
that.
tell you about anything, you say, "Oh yeah, I'll send it," and you don't send it.
Mm-hmm. Let me do it right now.
Do you need me to drop my Gmail to you?
I think I already know it.
I don't think you do.
Yeah, there it is. No, that's your Yoo-hoo.
Yeah. It's my secret Gmail. Not many people have this email account.
Text it to me.
Show prep. Yeah, obviously I'm not going to say it out loud.
So
you drinking more water like my psychic told me to tell you to do?
Your psychic told me to drink water? I don't remember this.
Well, it was directed towards Keenan, but then she said that the Rugrats theme song meant more to you, so that might have been your grandma coming through.
No way, really?
Yeah. You were listening when I FaceTimed after I had my
I don't
reading.
remember that, but I can't we can't talk about a lot of these details.
No, of course not.
But my grandmother has a track record of bombing people's psychic ratings. You're the third person she's done this to that isn't even in our family.
Yeah, the first 30 minutes of my reading.
I'm not joking, because my friend
Keenan's
Heather went to the psychic, and you know Heather, and she went to a really great psychic that my cousin and people went
Heather?
to. And my mom's friend Heather.
Oh, right.
And
yeah.
And my grandmother communicated with the psychic while Heather was there, and then and stuff that made a whole lot of sense, and I had no trouble believing, right? Because I'm not against the skepticism, but I don't happen to typically find myself being that skeptical of this stuff because it's useful to me, even if it's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened to our friend Mary, who used to work with us at the hair salon that my grandmother owned. Where Elaine actually had things she wanted to communicate to Mary through the psychic, I guess. Is that the correct term I keep saying?
Yeah, I mean intuitive reader, but I just say psychic because it's easier.
Right. So the witch doctor, and then somebody in my family went and had a very powerful communication, and I thought maybe it could be my uncle who just passed. Actually, he's the only guy I remember ever. Like we would always rent videos when we were going to spend the night over there. Back before there was even a Blockbuster, there was a little mom and pop video store over there, and we would always get the orange Nickelodeon videotapes of the Rugrats because my mom didn't like the Rugrats, so we never got them at home. And I was like, that could totally be that thing. But that was a huge show for me growing up.
Well, yeah,
for
I
sure.
was like, we didn't have cable until I was in high school, so I never really watched Nickelodeon. So and like, of course, things came out or whatever that made more sense, and then we definitely started vibing. But especially always in the beginning of a reading, it's hard. You have to like almost get like warmed up, and you're like, you're kind of, you want to go into it with an empty thought rather than like, oh, this, and this. I mean, I knew Smitty was going to come through. He always does, but that's why I love her to death.
My grandmother again.
I don't what.
You think my grandmother was talking to you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About what? She wants me to drink water?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I could show you my notes.
God, this may be my last
I
batch
have
of Diet
notes
Cokes.
for my psychic and I have
I'm
my
not
own
saying
notes
I
that
don't
took.
believe you. I'm saying
I
that's
know.
the only reason I question is because it makes so much sense.
Yeah. Because she started out
I
saying that, like,
don't
something
want to
about, like,
drink
my like, a
water. I
grandparent.
gotta. Can I drink? Can
and
you
eat more vegetables.
Can you get
and
my
low
grandmother on the
sugar
horn right
fruit.
now?
I mean, I could probably try to intuitively.
I'm gonna
tap
get
in.
a terrarium full of hummingbirds.
I'm gonna start working on it for real. My psychic said she would give me her mentor's information, and I'm gonna start.
Now, here's my thing: is
enhancing.
I don't want to dox anybody, but I'm wondering if the psychic that you see is the same psychic that Heather saw.
Nope. No, it's not.
How would you know? Is it impossible?
Well, I mean, I found mine in my one of my spiritualist groups. I'm on Facebook, and she lives in Washington State. So I.
Oh, you meet her virtually?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. We text. I actually texted her after I had that awful psychic attack dream, and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And she was like, "You know, you're like heavily protected." I was like, "No, I know." She was like, "That can be so scary." I was like, "No, I'm more pissed. I'm more mad than I'm scared. It's not fear. I'm
That's
pissed,
so
and
interesting.
I'm returning that energy tenfold back to the person that sent it." But she was like,
People
"You're
are
so
sending you bad
protected."
energy.
Yeah, all the time.
Oh, I hate that for you. Are people doing that to me?
Probably.
Who?
I don't know.
Who?
There are probably people out there that don't like you, Jake.
There was one guy, let's call him James, that I was mean to kind of unnecessarily one time in high school, and I feel bad. And so if it's him, I want him to know that I'm sorry.
Is it the one whose name you used when you got in trouble all the time?
No, that was Travis.
I know.
I don't think Travis knows that I did this.
I've told people that probably told him.
That's so funny. I wonder if he ever actually got talked to about that.
Probably. I could ask Lauren because Lauren dated him for so long. She would know.
That's right. That was so funny.
God, if I could go back to be in high school with who I am now, oh my God, it'd be over.
I think we would have gotten our GEDs at 15 and we would have started.
I basically did. Senior year, I was only there for I had double early dismissal. So
Right.
I was there for 4 classes.
Yeah.
At most.
Yeah, once I eat lunch, I'm ready to transition my day.
Yeah.
Like that guy that's like, well, the first 6 hours of my day, that's one day. And I'm like, yeah, and that's when the whole day is done for me. 6 and out. 6 max. And 6 is fucking hard. I got to recover from 6.
Yeah.
My grandmother told you I need to drink water?
Were you not listening when I FaceTimed Keenan?
No, not at all. I don't remember any of this.
Anything else because it's all
No,
very personal. I'm
there's
not
lots of
gonna do that,
personal
but-
stuff that's,
But yeah, it was like eat more vegetables and more low sugar fruits and drink water. Because I made a
What's a
joke
low
in my-
sugar fruit? Like a
'cause I was
tomato?
like, Keenan, berries.
Berries are bad when you buy them.
That's very true right now.
They go bad.
No, because I was like, no, Keenan drinks she has like a water bottle that's
She's
like a
not
smart
talking
water
to
bottle, right?
Keenan. I gotta.
I mean,
watch
it was
the
for
Rugrats
both
and drink
of you.
some water.
But anyway,
I fucking hate water.
I do too.
Norma's gonna miss me. Norma at the Chippewa Hampton Village McDonald's.
Well, I
don't
got
tip her or
Brendan
anything.
Snapchatting me. I got Whitty wanting to be on the show next week.
What is Whitty gonna do on the show?
I don't know. But with me, it would be chaos. You did miss out because I did tell Whitty that I threatened him with becoming his stepmom.
That would be good. Isn't his dad like 108?
What did you say?
Isn't his dad like 108?
No, he's not that old. I would do it out of spite. Are you kidding me?
I didn't think he was literally 108,
He's gonna
Emma.
be so mad. He's gonna start texting me in a minute.
Oh, he's
He said
texting
he
me.
would kill himself if I did that. I was like,
Well, this has been great. We're not done here, folks. This is we got to catch up. It's a mega pod. It's what we call a money bomb in the business. Patreon.com/JacobV. Please, for the love of God, join the Patreon. There's exclusive content you can't find anywhere else. It is the only way to support the show. Emma, I do want to ask you about this.
Okay.
Because you're a fellow city resident, and you and me have a complicated political slant on this issue because we do care about social justice and reforming policing and fighting crime in a compassionate way, right? How do we feel about Kim Gardner?
Woody just said his dad's 76.
76. Oh, okay. Excuse me for cutting hairs. Got a spring chicken up there.
So here's the deal. The day that they were having that big press conference, right? So I'm
recent
assuming
one?
that, yeah. About the girl who got hit by the car and had to lose her legs.
Oh, Christ.
During that press conference, they had 10 to 15 cops lined up along 64 in the city. I got a speeding ticket in the city and a ticket for expired plates. They only expired in January and they're regular plates. They're not even temp tags, right? Some bogus shit. So they were doing a huge push to get numbers up to make it seem like they're actually doing their fucking job and policing traffic in the city when we all know they're not. I was even thinking, because I don't know how you get to my place, and don't dox where I live, please. But I don't know how you get to my place, but I will
take
either
Gravway the whole way.
See, and I'm going to either take the highway or I take
the highway.
I'll do a cut
to
through.
The highway from here?
44.
You go all the way. That's way out of your way, brother.
No, it's not.
We're
I mean,
in
it's
the
not. I can either
Southland,
cut. It just
dog.
depends. Because like,
Baby, we
I
don't
want to go
need
through all
no
those stoplights?
interstate, baby. This
Do I
want to
deal with that one junkie at Gravois?
You know, Gravois is old Highway 30.
But I'm just saying, like, it depends on which way I go.
It's the dick vein
but I was
of this
thinking,
city.
Like, I get worried when my parents come into the city because I'm like, you need to understand that, like, you don't start driving immediately at a green light. Stop signs. Two people apparently didn't know how to do a stop sign in the city, because it's like, yeah, if you both come at the same time, the person on the right goes, but they didn't want to go, and then they're like making a complete stop. I get irate when somebody in the city makes a complete stop at a stop sign. I'm like, where are you from? Where are you from? Because you're not from the city. We have places to go. We don't do this. We do the St. Louis stop where it's 1-2 roll. You know what I mean? Do you make complete stops? You don't make complete stops.
But I also kind of drive slow. And so I'm always just kind of oozing through traffic.
No, I'm an aggressive city driver. And like, that's just something
my wife drives
know.
like that. My wife is a zip zip. I don't want my wife to make a full stop at a stop sign because it's not safe.
No.
If they found out that she was who she is and where she was, she'd be snatched up out that little Toyota, girl. But here's my thing. I'm so crazy that if I see a pedestrian, or if I think there could be the threat of a pedestrian and I'm sitting at a red light for too long and I don't want to get pulled over because I probably smell like a skunk, that I want to lock the doors, but I want to do so discreetly, because if there is a pedestrian, I don't want them to think that I'm being insensitive towards them by locking my doors. But I think they're going to carjack me. They've been carjacking up in here.
I don't ever roll. I mean, I'm a woman, first of all.
What about a red light, though?
When I get in the car, my doors are locked the second I sit down in my car.
But what about a red light?
What about a red light?
I mean, what if you have to sit at a red light for a long time?
Your doors should be locked anyway.
But what if that's not enough?
Well, do you not carry on you?
I haven't been.
Oh, I always have something on me. In fact, I was so freaked out. I was so freaked out at Gravois and Grand because there is this aggressive fucking addict that is out there, and he will come up to your fucking window.
The white guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Short,
you know what?
Super saggy pants. He's just aggressive.
He's got those hollow eyes.
Yes. And like, I don't fucking play with that. I
gave him $5 and a cigarette on Christmas once.
No, sir. No, he's new. Cause he'll stand out there in the rain and like be on the phone walking around.
A guy
it's
I see
very
Gravois and Grand
suspicious.
all the time that I used to see on 44 and
oh yeah, that's a different guy. No, this is a different guy, and I swear to God, he's only out on rainy nights. But it's just like,
oh, maybe he's like the spirit of an old fisherman.
Different guy. The dude I'm talking about is young. He's a young cat.
He's a young ghost.
Yeah, no, he's not a ghost.
He's a rain spirit, Emma. You said so yourself.
I definitely pulled some shit out last time he was around, just because I was like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, it's not happening. Like, you're not walking up to my car and putting your sign on my window. I don't give a fuck. Also, let's talk about.
Wait, but how do we feel about Kim Gardner?
She's trash. What has she done for the city?
Right. Okay. But doesn't she make some good points in some of the reasons why she doesn't pursue certain things a certain way? Or is that too little too late at this point and we got to clean this shit up?
I mean,
I don't know how it's complicated because I don't know how to feel. Because I really want to be able to.
I think that her pulling that shit that she did during the press conference with the police says everything you need to know about her.
But can we establish why she's a controversial figure in the first place?
Establish it.
So she is the is she the district attorney prosecuting whatever?
Just keep going. I'll look it up.
For the city of St. Louis. And when she first took over, a lot of people were upset because there was a long list of police officers that she wouldn't process cases from because she didn't agree with some of their field practices or something. And I don't know how valid any of that was. That's just what I remember hearing. And crime has gotten so out of hand around here, and there's lots of cases that don't get processed in time, and very similar to the critique of, you know, things that happen in Chicago where people are out on bail that shouldn't be out on bail, and there's certain crimes that aren't being prosecuted at all that probably should be, and there's instances where people that are awaiting trial but out free, awaiting trial for other crimes, then get implicated in yet more crimes, and so that should be preventable in some way, especially when those secondary crimes are violent. So, and then the other day, though, she had a press conference because they're talking about doing a recall and trying to get her out of there. And you're saying she had the police out in full force, acting ridiculous, pulling people over for speeding and expired plates, like we're a proper nation.
I see maybe one traffic cop on 64 under the like science center, you know, that little strip of the nicer part of the highway.
I don't even know what time of day it would be that I would see one there.
I mean, I'd usually in the mid-afternoon, but they were lined up, and I just think that's so shady. Like, and they were traffic enforcement cops too, and it's like, dude, you can't. No, sorry, like you're just not good at your job.
Yeah.
I love living in the city because people don't want to live in the city, and that means they don't come around.
Yeah, like I don't want to live somewhere where people from other places are taking up all the parking spots.
Right.
Splots. So she's got to go.
Mm-hmm.
But what do we do? What do you think you would like to see them try to do about the violent crime in this city that we live in?
It's not just the city. I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous.
It's obviously not just the city because these two armed standoffs last week were in the county.
Missouri. I think it's a racist ideal to say that it's more dangerous in the city than it is the county. Shit just doesn't get reported in the county, or
it's just the context is just so different. Yeah.
They have family names that get them out of it. You know what I mean? Like, please, like that's let's be honest. Where we come from, there were definitely my dad's a lawyer motherfuckers. And I'm privileged. I grew up, my mom was the city clerk for the city of Oakland, so she had very big connections to Kirkwood police. And like, I got caught sneaking out one time and got brought home by the chief of police because he was friends with my mom. But it was like, I wasn't that bad of a kid that I was going to be getting in trouble and doing those things. I mean, could I? Yeah. I never got an MIP or anything like that. But, I was always smarter than that too. But I think that the city and county police definitely need to be merged, right? Because there's a definite line between city and county, and they don't have enough officers. But at the same time, people in the city, more money needs to be poured into the city to invest in enrichment programs for the community. Because if kids don't have shit to do, they're going to go out and they're going to start doing dumb shit. Right? Like you're bored teenagers.
And the segregation is also a huge part of the issue because it's, I have found in classrooms I've worked in that when races and socioeconomic groups are integrated together, they all are more polite and more intentional in how they choose to communicate and all of these things that make it, a really great experience. But you allow yourself as a community to neglect huge sections of your community if you don't value the average person living there.
Right.
And so when people are segregated, it's really easy to ignore a problem happening across several zip codes because, like, I don't care about anybody that lives there, is what those people say.
Yeah. Or
that's certainly how the system functions. The system is saying that in how it functions, even if people individually aren't saying that. But that's a much bigger issue that's been happening for 200 years here.
Yeah. Plus,
the segregation here is, it's weird.
It's unfortunate.
And drastic. It seems it's so blatant in how it plays out, especially in schools, that it seems like it should be illegal.
Yeah.
It's just not the loophole is not subtle. Have you heard about the drama with KDHX? I have to mention it so I don't have to bring it up again later. It's in my list here.
I did, but I wasn't really paying attention because I've never.
You don't have a dog in that fight necessarily.
No, I don't.
So I've been a pledging member of KDHX for a long time, and I used to be a program or production volunteer there and work on stuff. And a lot of people have been protesting the management there because a lot of people over the last couple of years have.
Does it have to do with an old white guy getting fired?
Well, I don't know if he's just white. I think he's mixed. Is he just white? He does not talk like he's just white. So
that doesn't mean anything.
We should find that out. But here's the thing. So the big upset the past couple of weeks has been that this guy got fired, and they didn't really say why.
What's his name?
Tom Papa Ray, and he owns Vintage Vinyl. And he's been doing a show there since KDHX started 30-something years ago. And he's got a very recognizable voice. He's been in the same drive time slot for a long time. People that have been with the station for a long time typically like this guy. However, people were all like, fuck the management there. Kelly needs to step down. But my actual firsthand memory of Tom Papa Ray is when I worked at Guitar Center in the pro audio department. He called me. Not me. He called the store. Ended up interrogating me about why we stocked a specific rack mount CD player online that had nothing but bad reviews.
Oh.
And I tried to explain that, well, it looks like we only have that online, so we probably don't have that many of them. We probably bought them in a bundle from the distributor of that brand of products. And so, obviously, and I didn't want to say nobody uses those anymore, so that's why there aren't better options, because he was obviously still trying to use a CD player this would have been 2013. But what made me think of that is and he was very mean to me on the phone. He's like, it just doesn't seem right that you would stock that, because he wanted a CD player at that price that we had it online, but he wanted.
Boomer was acting like a boomer.
Yeah, he was booming, dog. And then he was kind of short and kind of shitty to me, and then he hung up the phone without really saying anything, like goodbye or fuck off or anything. And then what triggered that memory to me is in his story with the RFT that he did the day he got fired. He said that they gave me faulty equipment to use on an event, and that was like, he listed a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm like, oh, that sounds like the same guy that cussed me out on the phone about a CD player he wanted to use 20 years after the obsoletism of the CD. And then finally, after a week or two of this going on in social media and people siding with him, management from KHX came out and explained that it was a long pattern of him being verbally abusive to staff members, kind of in the way that I experienced.
Wow, 0% surprised.
And especially, when the leadership was replaced with a lot of younger than him female professionals, you know what I mean?
What?
And I'm sure he talked to them kind of crazy.
Wow.
And I'm sure they said, hey, we don't have to put up with this. He doesn't own the station.
Right.
And whether or not he got fired is none of my business. But people are still very pro him and the whole thing. And I'm like, he's not Jesus, everybody.
St. Louis is so weird at just absolutely over glorifying people from here, right? Like, Nelly has multiple women who have come forward and said that he raped them. And
isn't that why he doesn't do shit here?
Him up. Oh, he doesn't do shit here because he openly talks shit about St. Louis and how terrible it is. Which, here's the thing: when I'm here, I'm gonna talk shit about St. Louis because I live here, I'm from here, I grew up here, I pay taxes here. You know what I mean? I can complain about it, but when I go to other cities and people talk shit about St. Louis, I'm like, oh, pump the brakes, my friend.
Yeah.
You're not gonna talk about my city
there,
like that.
Chet.
But, it's so bizarre to me. And even just local celebrities, how hard people suck their dick. And it's like, are we that far from reality here that they're just normal people? And even celebrity, I'm not weird with celebrities. If James Spader walked up, I'd probably I'd probably have a heart attack. But for the most part,
Other than James Spader,
I don't get hype
and
about
the entire
celebrities.
cast of Shaws of Sunset, we're not interested, bub.
Witty has insider info. So
On what?
They threw a private party at Pinup for the fall for a video shoot.
For what?
The guy who got fired or whatever.
Oh, he's doing what?
But anyway, he had a private party where Witty works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, people hype up St. Louis celebrity. It's so bizarre to me. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, that's cool. They're from St. Louis. You know what I mean? Like, but you're not gonna get away with murder just because you're from here. And yeah, I don't understand why. Like, who was the guy that died? And there were like videos of him being super degrading towards women.
Unfortunately, you're going to have to be more specific.
Right. Well, see, and that's all you need to know about dudes from St. Louis.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't, oh no, a guy got fired for being an asshole and not treating people with common decency.
And then everyone acts like he's some kind of martyr. Like he's like he's...
I don't get it.
I enjoyed his show, but he was mean to me unsolicited on the phone when I was a hungover child. And then I'm sure if he was like that to me, he can be like that to people that he doesn't feel like he has to respect or treat well in his work environment.
Yeah.
I'm going to pray for him.
That's all we can do.
That's all we can do.
I mean?
I'm going to send him a happy spirit.
Manifest peace and healing for him and hope that he gets his shit together.
Is he just white? Did we determine? I don't know if he's on
with pictures. I didn't want to get too weird on my search because then I would have just gone absolute mute and gone down to a rabbit hole. So
kind of relevant. Missouri House passes bill that would give control of St. Louis City Police to state-appointed Board of Police Commissioners.
I'm anti-cop. So anything that has to do with cops, just fuck them. That's sorry. I mean,
but do you want the Republican-led state government to be in charge of the city police?
I don't know.
That's what's happened.
I'm sure. I mean,
so
it doesn't surprise me.
But what do you think? Do you think it's going to mean anything?
More racist cops.
If the version of the bill is passed, the Board of Police Commissioners will assume control in August. So not until August. We'll all be dead by then.
Right. I'm not even worried about it.
I'm not even worried about it. You guys do what you're going to do over my dead body, and whoever's been barricaded in their cold box in their basement for 6 months. Voters across Missouri overwhelmingly approved a 2012 ballot measure granting St. Louisans control.
In the police force makes it so that cops actually do their job and stop with the corrupt bullshit.
Yeah.
Cool. Great. Whatever gets cops to do their fucking job and stop killing innocent people and stop being corrupt and doing favors for people. Like, see, don't bring up cop stuff with me.
Well, I just don't know what the consequence of this passing would be.
I don't either. Look, my rights already
St. Louis and Kansas City are the only
so.
major cities in the country with state-approved boards that oversee their police departments. But what does it mean?
I don't know. I don't know, because if it's already happening, they're not doing their job.
So the new police chief would have to get majority votes on the board to make changes and decisions on department policy. So it's kind of a cockblock to the new chief, Robert Tracy, who was the first chief hired from outside the department. Text us 314-626-4208 if you know what any of that shit means. That's why we have the text line. I know you have an opinion on this issue.
Oh, God. Are you talking to me?
Yes. The big drag queen distraction. The governor of the governor of Tennessee, just signed a law aimed at criminalizing drag events in his state. Not only is that likely to encourage more anti-LGBTQ violence, it's also an elaborate distraction from the very real problems facing people who live in Tennessee. What do we feel about the drag ban in Tennessee? You and me are fans of drag, is why I bring this up.
Well, I mean, we also both fall in the spectrum, right? Like, of the umbrella
I'm
of
definitely on a
sexuality.
couple spectrums.
And like, I always tell people, for me growing up, my aunt's a lesbian. My aunt had girlfriends. That just was what it was. And I knew different. I didn't know any different. And so to me, it's fucking weird that people are anti anything that has to do with that. But I think in reality, it's a form of, yes, distraction. And it's also bullshit. They don't actually believe these things. They're just targeting minority groups so that we can be distracted while they push some other bullshit legislation through, or it's some new uproar, right? But in reality, these marginalized communities, our lives are being endangered because of this. And you and I just look like two whatever people. You know what I mean? Like when people find out that I am attracted to all types of people, really, they're like, what? Like they get, I mean, yeah, I mostly date cis men, but that doesn't mean I'm not attracted to other people and things like that. And I haven't dabbled.
Yeah. And it's hard because it's,
but
up until just recently,
you know what I mean? The way I present with a lot of privilege, right?
Right.
And so I have no problem speaking on things like this, because if I don't use my privilege for good, what am I doing with it? I'm wasting it. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's fucking mind-blowing. Why do you care? And here's the thing. I'm not, you know what I mean?
Well, and they're also supposed to be the small government side of the argument, right? The kind of people that are in charge of things in Tennessee are the same people that would say they want a smaller government overreach and separation of
100%.
You know, they want to worship God the way they want to worship God or whatever. But it's like, then why would you make a law about something that is can't be a huge part of the Tennessee economy?
Because it all falls back into that corrupt mindset that has spread throughout the Republican and conservative people and party of that trans people are pedophiles. That sounds doth protest too much.
Yeah.
You're
and
projecting,
it's kind of
because
it's kind of a QAnon dog whistle.
100% it is.
Am I kind of getting a little?
Which
is it,
all
it's giving QAnon.
Rooted in white supremacy. It all comes back to it, baby. It's fucking brutal, and I don't understand it. And I mean, all we can do is stand up for our brothers and sisters who do drag, who are trans, who are on the spectrum.
Do you know how many people sent me that TikTok of that couple that are trying to raise their kids gay?
Oh, yeah.
How many people that are not connected to each other sent me that TikTok of the couple acting like their son is coming out as straight and they're mad at him about it?
Yeah.
So
it's all a form of hate, right? And
so I'm going to give
really
birth
upset that marginalized communities are speaking out and having more visibility and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people have an issue because they live this white picket fence 9-to-5 type life, right? The American dream, if you will, that
they
was
just want
so heavily pushed throughout the 1940s.
Anything that they can't rationalize with their own personal beliefs, they just want to outlaw, like it can't be an option for people they don't even know.
Right. And I've been to drag shows plenty of times. I've been up on stage. It's nothing but a loving event. I mean,
it's a
any
very
drag show
positive
I've been
environment.
to has ended with "We are family," and everybody gets up and sings and dances.
It's a tradition.
Yeah.
I mean, Keenan and I included the birdcage in our vows.
I know. One of my
it's a
favorite
movie I
movies.
used to watch with my grandparents.
Yeah.
Like that's how like removed from being a taboo issue it is. And I'm 32 years old. And I mean, it's just weird that
It's just ignorance. It's ignorance and it's fear. And unfortunately,
and it's also
in
like a
today,
power
those
grab.
two
Like it's
things-
like a
those two things
yeah.
fester into hate and violence. And I mean, I don't know. It's fucking terrifying. It's fucking terrifying. The writing is
the
on the
article
walls.
I had pulled there to remind me of the issue is, I mean, there's a lot of really serious issues that affect
It's a
people of
fascist
all persuasions in Tennessee, and there's things that they could be spending that energy on, and certainly those police resources, if there's any enforcement that takes place over this issue. I mean, the murders that are not going to get solved because they have calls they have to follow up on about attendance at a drag show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's It's fucking terrifying, and it's fascism, and it's happening all around, and people aren't realizing it, and people think like, I can sit here and you and I joke, but in all sincerity, white supremacy is the number one thing that is attacking our nation right now, and it's coming from within.
Yeah.
And if more people don't speak up about it and more people don't do something about it, and I don't know, punch a fucking Nazi in the face or call people out when they're being racist or saying things that are white supremacist dog whistles, educate yourself. Like it's the fact that there are videos, that TikTok from, I don't remember where, but it was a drag show, and there were literal Nazis standing out front screaming Nazi slogans with Nazi flags. Thank God for the internet, because the main dude, big shocker, was a tattoo artist. Doesn't surprise me, because there are a bunch of white supremacists in the tattoo community. It's fucking gross. And, you know, everything went private and all of his socials got deleted. It's like, yeah, and he's going to be protected. And that's what's sad.
Jesus.
It's gross.
And then, I mean, isn't that kind of what I was expressing as my fear about, like, if Trump gets arrested on Tuesday?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, how do you come back from that kind of divide where there's people that think that behavior that you're describing is so okay, and then to us it seems so foreign that would be an option.
I don't think there are enough people telling them that is not okay. I mean, think about how many straight white men haven't been told to shut the fuck up before.
There's plenty on my Facebook feed. There'll be
I'm aware.
Plenty of comments on this
there
video,
have been
I'm
plenty
sure.
on this podcast before.
Yeah.
It honestly, like, it takes people standing up and speaking out against it, and not passively either.
Yeah.
Not in a passive way. There is no more time for being passive about it.
Yeah.
You shut that shit down when you're confronted with it. Otherwise, you're a part of
Otherwise,
the problem.
you're normalizing it. It's
Yeah.
not something you can be neutral on.
No.
Because ignoring it.
Your proximity to privilege will never keep you safe.
Yeah. And ignoring it is positive feedback to it, because it's surviving, and it's every day they go on being like, what? I've been this way my whole life. It's like, well, that's actually the problem.
Right.
Somebody should have nipped this in the bud maybe 30 years ago.
What was it that they found an entire literal, like, white supremacist Nazi homeschooling network, and the state was like, well, there's nothing we can do about it. It's like, yes, there is. I think it's okay for the government to say white supremacy bad.
Well, and it's never safe for kids to live in those super isolated, like, religious fundamentalist environments. Like we learned from that show about the rescuing people from polygamy. Like, a lot of them are kind of like bereft of resources, and they eat old food, and like so, like, there are lots of things we catch in schools that are like, hey, this kid is experiencing this, and we need to enact whatever intervention is protocol, whether that's homelessness or hunger or whatever. That if you're in a rural homeschool environment, there aren't those points of contact to make sure that you're safe and healthy every day. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I get scared for those kids.
Yeah. I mean, it's scary for them, but it's also scary in places like where we grew up and went to school. I mean, I am very open and honest about how ignorantly privileged I was when I was younger. And I've always been more on the liberal side, more open, more accepting of everything, because I don't want to be judged, so I'm not going to judge somebody else. But I will judge you for being a fucking white supremacist. For sure. Because there are some things that are just straight up bad.
What's today's date?
The 19th.
What's on the horizon for this week astrologically? Did we talk about that yet?
Yeah, I already said there's going to be a new moon, and it's the beginning of the new year astrologically. So this is very new. The veil is very thin right now. Up your protection if you've got it, if you do it, whatever you do.
How do I do that?
I don't know. I mean, what do? You pray? I have crystals. I have Florida water. I have rituals that I do. I have, basic just.
Florida water?
Yeah.
How do you use the Florida water? Do you mind me
for
asking?
everything?
What?
The other night I put it on my all over my bed, like my mattress, and I usually do that I wash I have the mattress cover, and the sheets. I usually do like a full wash down with my Dyson that like fat steam cleaner or whatever that I have, the enzyme cleaner. I'll do that on the mattress, and then I'll put Florida water over that just to, get the mattress protected or whatever, and then put my sheets down. But I usually do that. And I wipe my doors down with
where do you get the water from?
I mean, any shop has it.
It's water from Florida?
No, it's like a specific blend of herbs and things. It's for protection, but it's like used for a lot of different things.
They call it Florida water.
Yes.
It's not imported from Florida.
No.
That was my confusion.
It's like orange, cinnamon, clove.
That sounds lovely.
A couple other things. Rose petals.
Up your protection. God damn it. I was hoping to have a nice relaxing week. That's not in the cards, is it?
Well, I don't know. Not necessarily bad. It's just things are going to start ramping up, and whatever you're serious about, get serious about it, because this is a really good, positive time right now. All planets are direct for a little bit longer. We don't have a retrograde coming up. I know there is an eclipse coming up. I was planning on doing more of that next week.
Yeah, let's plan on it. Let's see how this week goes. I really wanted to get an episode out this week to mark this point in time, because I think the headlines the next couple mornings are going to be goofy. And for sure. We're gonna have a lot I want to make sure we're caught up and prepared for all of that. But we've done 90 minutes. I can set you free. I know.
I'm good to keep going if you want to keep
going.
No.
I just
we do have the whole pyramid of conspiracy that we have to go over at some point.
Well, that's the thing I thought I was asking about.
Oh no.
Let's do that.
Whew,
the conspiracy chart, it says 2021 on it.
Well, they haven't been that new. Conspiracychart.com, it's interactive. We have our grounded in reality at the bottom, all the way to detached from reality at the top. And it really does go into talking about anti-Semitism, especially with QAnon, deep state, flat earth, Holocaust denial, endochromes. If anybody in your life talks about endochromes, they're anti-Semitic.
I don't know what that is. Are they like the midichlorians?
It's what the celebrities are stealing from young children and killing babies for.
Oh, adrenochrome.
Oh, yeah.
Adrenochrome.
Yeah. The font's real messed up, even with my glasses.
No, that's a weird font.
I'm almost in.
No, that's a weird font.
I don't know what that middle one is.
What?
Oh, George Soros.
George Soros is the guy that they say runs everything.
Weird font again, man. They should really consider redoing this.
Yeah. I like the George Soros
trans
font.
agenda. See, I didn't even see that.
Yeah. I better not hear about an agenda.
Gender ideology is a fake movement created by the right in backlash against LGBT.
But what does this have to do with this? This is not an astrological thing.
It does tie in a little bit, because in New Age spirituality, there are a lot of dog whistles. Specifically, whistles.
Watch out for waspus.
I got cotton mouth real bad right now. Hold on, I have my... the starseed concept.
Yes.
An incarnated extraterrestrial, a human whose soul incarnated from another planet or dimension. That is a white supremacist dog whistle. That kind of ties into like white people having alien DNA, which goes into white supremacy.
Yeah.
It all comes back to white supremacy.
Yeah.
So just things to look for when you're getting into spirituality. Anything about...
You don't want to go down the wrong
quantum
rabbit hole.
shifting your reality.
A lot of this shit that you can learn at home can be misused by the rural homeschool crowd.
Yeah. Well, and again, even like people that look like us calling themselves shamans.
Yeah,
also,
I want to be
that
Missouri's
like
first ayahuasca shaman, but I want to do it right. I don't want to be a trailer shaman.
That look like us need to just stop appropriating other cultures.
Just calm down a
little bit.
Voodoo
is a closed practice unless you learn from a voodoo practitioner.
Unless you're welcomed into it.
I learned certain aspects of voodoo from someone who was in New Orleans, who learned from a voodoo practitioner. They consider themselves a voodoo practitioner. However, I'm very careful and cautious when I do any kind of voodoo practices, because again, I am white. I'm a palm-colored person, and that is not my ancestry. Those are not my people. A lot of the things that I do from voodoo also go across other aspects. They're more of an open thing within the cultures. There are certain things. White sage. Stop burning white sage, white people.
Yeah.
The natives are asking us to do that. That's the least we can do, considering we stole their land and killed their people.
Yeah.
Tighten up.
I've always said that about white sage.
But yeah, I mean, even just the aspect of white people being a shaman, that's absolutely 100% cultural appropriation. What you want to do is you want to find out your roots and your ancestors and where you came from and the pagan beliefs or mythology or practices from that community. My family on both sides comes from Prussia, which is old pre-World War I Germany and kind of like more Slavic areas, which makes a lot of sense. Also Irish. I'm very white, so anything that has to do with Santeria or voodoo or things like that, I try to shy away from and really educate myself on those practices so that I know what to stay away from, so that I'm not, one, doing harm to myself, but two, doing harm to a marginalized group of people.
Good.
Where are you from, Jake? Where are your people from?
We have a disproportionate amount of Neanderthal variants in our DNA, which I'm not excited about. Ireland, almost exclusively on my mom's side. Mm-hmm. And then the last name, though, is Austrian, but that whole side has, other stuff going on. It's not super pure on that end.
Right.
So, it's
practices, you would want to go more towards Celtic ideology.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bagpipes and fiddles, penny whistles. What I do is if I get sick, I lie on hash browns, and it sucks out the impurities.
Yeah, I just do Vicks on the bottom of my feet with some socks.
I do that too, in the sack and of the sack.
Put product in your hair more often.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. I don't leave myself enough time in the morning. So
you put it in your hands and you run it through.
Yeah, I don't even know if I brushed my teeth today, is what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm not wearing socks, which means I landed in my Crocs and I've been moving ever since.
Yikes.
So, I didn't want to be late this morning.
It's all right. I need to get my hair done. I look like white trash.
Who does your hair?
My friend Jessica Colios.
Oh.
We do each other's hers.
And where can we find you on Instagram?
Oh, at Sheer Hair, SCHEER.hair.
Guys, that's another episode of Jacob V Weekly. We'll be back very, very soon. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Please subscribe, rate, review, interact in any kind of way. We have an Instagram page for the show at Jacob V Weekly. We are on patreon.com/JacobV is the only way to support this show financially. Please come check out the weekly exclusive content. Witty needs a haircut.
I know.
Apparently Sam Neill from Jurassic Park has blood cancer.
What?
That's in hot off the press on the text line.
That's a bummer.
And I know, RIP sometime. You can contact the show 314-626-4208, or you can email us at jacobvweekly@gmail.com. Original music by Jacob V, Blinded by Stereo, No Antics on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. Emma helped me curate the playlist this month. We have a companion playlist on Spotify, Jacob V's favorite songs, March of 2023. We're coming up on 3 years of monthly companion playlists for what is supposed to be the weekly podcast. I'm trying to hit 52 podcasts this year. And
we're going to do it.
We're on track. And this has been a really long episode, and if we did like a 2-hour one, I could chop it into 2 pieces, but we're doing it the old-fashioned way. You're getting the whole piece. You're getting 38 extra minutes for free.
You're welcome.
I'm in the hole. I'm fucked right now. Keep it deep. Be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Bye.
Bye.